live from the YouTubes. We're back. It's a Sunday. My wife just popped her head in here to see if I was starting, but I said, you know what, honey? We're starting. What's up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another edition of Ask Me Anything. Today, we're going to be talking about movies and TV show, and maybe talk some Wonder Woman, because as we all know, that was announced this week that is coming to HBO Max on Christmas Day. A bit of good, bit of bad with that news. You know, I'm glad we're all going to get a chance to watch it, at least everyone who has HBO Max. And then for everyone who isn't, don't worry, still coming to the theater. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm interested to see what happens with that. And of course, we've got some people in the chat room. Let me take this graphic off screen and see how you all are doing. Shadow says, how are you all? Are you ready to rumble? Let's go, Jacob. Hello, everyone. Bandit is back, and we have so many people in the chat. Gavin talking top 5 Robert De Niro performances. Oh, man. Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, Godfather Part 2, The Deer Hunter, and Heat. That's a pretty good list. I don't know any other. Man, what can we throw in there? Gosh, that's a good list. I mean, you got to go, I'd say Taxi Driver 1, Raging Bull 2, but past that, the man is a legend. Shishang said, hey, Austin, once again, congrats on 75K. Thank you so much, my friend. Big part of that Patreon page you are. I sound like Yoda. Wish you many more. What is your favorite Jackie Chan movie? Ooh, man. You know, I don't know. I mean, because you have so many incredible martial arts films. It's hard to pick out of those. I'm a big fan of Rush Hour. I am. I like the Rush Hour movies. I know, you know, sometimes they're a little over the top and they're not all perfect, but I just think that's where he kind of transitioned into America and just dropped a bomb in terms of comedy. We knew he could do action, but the guy can do comedy too. He's fantastic. I'll tell you what, though. I loved growing up the Jackie Chan Adventures, the animated show. That's how I got to know him. That's before I watched any of his martial arts films. That's before I watched any of his live action movies. I watched that on 4Kids TV, I believe is what it was called. 4Kids, Jackie Chan Adventures. So that's how I got to know Jackie Chan. I was a huge fan through that growing up. And I'm sure if I watch it again today, it's going to hold up because, man, that was so much fun. Jacob says, Rush Hour, that's a good one. Real James, what's up, Real James? One of the hardest workers in the business. Best is ahead, brother. Real James, thank you so much, my friend. Big fan of yours as well. I can't wait to see where your channel goes. 123 Rock Fan says, director swap. David Fincher doing Spotlight. McCarthy doing Social Network. I mean, both of those films are magnificent. I guess I would rather see Fincher's Spotlight because I couldn't imagine anyone else tackling the Social Network. But man, what McCarthy was able to do with Spotlight. And I'm also excited for Stillwater, I think is the name of his brand new feature film. So be on the lookout for that. I think, you know, obviously 2020, not really a chance. 2021, I would say there's a shot for that movie to come out early in time for Oscar season. But we'll just have to see. Will Herron says, who is your favorite NBA player if you had to choose one? One or three. Mine are Kobe, LeBron, and Chris Paul. Man, I wish I had that picture with me. I have a picture of myself as a baby in a Bulls onesie and a Michael Jordan jersey on top of the Bulls onesie. So I was a big MJ fan until I was like 12 or 13. And then I realized, oh, wait, well, I guess there's other players that I can start rooting for because I rooted for only MJ for so long. And then, of course, he retires in the early 2000s. Got to find some other people. You know, I honestly didn't hate LeBron for a while. I still don't hate him. I'm a fan of his, but I honestly now just kind of focus on Kentucky players because, you know, my wife works for UK. I've been a Kentucky fan my whole life, and they're everywhere. Anthony Davis won a championship. Tyler Hero was in the championship. A lot of great players from Kentucky. So that's kind of what I focus on now. But I'll always be a Michael Jordan fan. Let's keep going, guys. We've got some awesome chats already. Everybody in here talking Jackie Chan one more time. Rush Hour may be his best. Oh, yes, but I'd still go Rumble in the Bronx. I think Rumble in the Bronx may be one of his most entertaining movies. And maybe not the best in terms of, like, you know, script and all that stuff, but Rumble in the Bronx is awesome, man. I love a great physical actor. That's why I really like what Keanu Reeves is doing. Really love what Tom Cruise is still doing. Jackie Chan is probably top 2 or 3 all time, if I had to guess. Let's see. Well, TV says, I'm early, not late. What's going on, man? Hey, Austin, have you watched True Detective? I think season 1 is fantastic. Season 1 is one of my favorite seasons of television in the last few years. Wasn't a huge fan of season 2. Wasn't that big on it. And I never actually finished season 3. I liked it for what I saw from it. Didn't get to finish it because I knew there wasn't a chance of me reviewing it, so I just moved on to other things. But I want to finish it because I really enjoyed it. I thought the cast was fantastic. So season 1, one of the best seasons of TV in quite some time. It's so good. What is your favorite DC movie? Well, it's a bit of a cheat code to say The Dark Knight. So I won't say The Dark Knight, even though that's the answer. Let's throw in something that's not Batman. I'm a huge fan of Man of Steel. Love Man of Steel. Big fan of the first Wonder Woman movie. I like the OG Batman and Superman films for sure. Shazam. I also really like Shazam. So those are kind of the 3 in the more modern era. But man, oh man, I am so excited for The Batman. That is my most anticipated movie for 2022. Don't even know what the other movies are, but I just know that's the answer. So I can't wait for that film. Yeah, Jesse, good point. Glad you brought it up. Did you hear about Deadpool 3? Yes, I am so excited for Deadpool 3. The writers of Bob's Burgers. I love that combination there. Very interesting. Something that I wasn't expecting. And the rumor, now this isn't confirmed by the studio, the rumor is that the movie is going to be rated R. And I think that's one thing that everyone was looking for. Austin, obviously Deadpool 3 is coming out. We're looking forward to it. What's the movie going to be rated? I think that's what we're all kind of, I think it's going to be rated R, according to some reps from the studio. So that is a great sign for what's to come with Deadpool. I can't wait. Very, very excited. Let's keep going here. We've got some of the questions that I answered already. I think we have another super chat. If you guys don't know, super chat is kind of the way to get your questions to stay on screen for me. If that's the route. And Shashank asked another one. Thank you, my friend. Love Rowan Atkinson's work as Mr. Bean. Yes, would love to see him work in a dark film. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I've always thought he was hilarious, but I think he's got the chops to do something more. And he knows how to get into character. And I think when you see that in a comedic performer like himself, that can always transfer well to a very serious role. So I like that. Gyllenhaal and Atkinson's in a film directed by Fincher. Ooh, I like that, man. I like that. Well, we know Gyllenhaal is a huge fan of Fincher's. They're always working together. So I would love to see those two together in a movie. Give me anything directed by David Fincher. I can't wait to watch Mank and bring you guys that review. Let me see. Okay, we got this one. Let's see. No, I'm not going to answer that. Austin, did you like The Queen's Gambit? Yes, I loved it. Well, watch my review and you'll see why I loved it. But I do think it's one of the best seasons of television of the year. And I finally got my wife watched it and she loved it just as much. So I'm seeing a lot of great responses. Our friend watched it. She loved it. And obviously the high score on IMDb, which really doesn't mean anything because that can be, I don't look at user scores on IMDb anymore. But that still kind of bodes well for a show like this. And obviously Anya Taylor-Joy, who is spectacular in that show. Spectacular. So I'm very, very excited to see what the final tally is when it comes to award season. Let's keep going here, guys. If we could not spam the same question over and over, I'm seeing it so many times. Let's not do that. Maybe wait a couple of minutes before you ask it again. After watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, which is perfection, I agree with that. Are you excited for the Friends reunion? I am, although not as excited as I was for the Fresh Prince reunion. I actually, and I think I'm in the minority, I think I slightly prefer Fresh Prince over Friends. It's just, I grew up with it. I didn't grow up with Friends. But then I finally started watching Friends when I was like 13, 14. And I loved it. I think it's great. So I'm very excited for the Friends reunion. Very excited. I think it's going to be great. Don't know what kind it's going to be. Apparently it's some kind of unscripted where they get together. So I don't know if they're doing like a reunion special like Parks and Rec, or if they're doing just a reunion where they're all kind of talking to each other. So I'm excited nonetheless, for sure. All right, guys, let's keep going here. We got some more questions. Uh, you ate. You are, I assume. You are married. You look so young. How? 25. 25. So I actually got married later than a few of my friends. Or I got married before my friends, but some of my friends are younger and they got married at a younger age. So yeah, 25, married for 3 years now. It's been a great 3 years if my wife is watching, and if she's not watching, it's still been a great 3 years. I'm married. Let's see. Jacob Nolan for 1917 Dunkirk was perfect, and I think it could suffer as no one else could pull it off. So Jacob Nolan for 19, I assume Chris Nolan for 1917. Listen, the argument between 1917 and Dunkirk is a valid one, but I prefer 1917 to Dunkirk. I prefer it. I think it was. Both movies were great. Listen, I'm not bashing Dunkirk at all, but if you were to ask me which one I like more, I just think 1917 is better. I'm a huge fan of a good one take, and obviously what Sam Mendes was able to do with that film. I think the score is spectacular. Dunkirk is great, and I take nothing away from it. My wife actually likes Dunkirk more than 1917, but I prefer 1917. Do you ever get burnt out by doing YouTube videos? You're great, by the way. Love your positivity. The Jedi Jazz Man. Oh, I like that name. Thank you so much, my friend. I wouldn't use the term get burnt out because I love doing what I do. But I get tired, man. I get really tired. Like this week, just watching so many shows and movies in a row and then trying to put out all those reviews. And I'm just like, oh. And then if the videos don't pay off, and I'll be transparent with you guys. I put out my review for Mangrove, the new Small Axe movie on Amazon, and no one seemed interested in that video. And, when I don't hit that certain threshold of likes on videos, it doesn't hurt the overall channel, but it kind of hurts the channel, if that makes sense. It's not like a huge detriment, but it kind of hurts the channel. So I like hitting my goals on specific videos, and I like, making sure that you guys are okay with what I'm putting out. And if a video doesn't perform, well, then, it's like, well, maybe I wasted my time watching that. So, man, I love the fact that you guys tune in. I love the fact that you guys support the vids. Every comment, every thumbs up. I know I say it and it seems repetitive, but it does indeed mean the world, because that does nothing but help the channel. So I really do appreciate you guys for everything that you give me, and you give me kind of the willpower to continue to do what I do, and I love it. Doctor Strange 2 movie, latest updates. Yeah, there have been some updates on Doctor Strange 2, for sure. We heard that Wanda's going to play a huge role in this movie. There are rumors, even further than that, it's a rumor, obviously. Tobey Maguire's already signed on, and this actor's already in it. And I don't want to acknowledge any of those just yet, because we just don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. And I got a super chat here. I want to make sure I missed it. Austin, my boy, the saga continues. Thank you, Matt. Always appreciate your comments, man. Yeah, I really do. I love this little saga that we get. But yeah, in terms of where that's going with Doctor Strange 2, I'm very excited about it. Will you do a DreamWorks ranking with Sean Chandler? That is very specific. I think at this point it's a little late for that, because The Croods 2 is coming up very soon. So I would have to go and rewatch, and I just, I got a lot of different reviews I've got to do. But I would love to do a ranking with Sean Chandler. Sean and I have worked on numerous videos, and we've said multiple times we're going to keep working on projects together. So do expect us to do more in the future. I'm a fan of Sean's. He's a big friend of this channel, and I just love what he does over on his channel, man. He is the best at what he does. Are you going to review The Prom on Netflix? Yes, that is the plan. It will be closer to the release date, but I will definitely be reviewing it. All right, guys, I have to do this. Apologies. Let's see. Let's keep going here. All right, I'm going to skip down, make sure I don't miss any super chats. So we got the DreamWorks question. I think we've got another super chat. Don't want to miss it. Yes. From Austin Wagner. Have you seen American Made from Tom Cruise? Thoughts. So American Made, starring Tom Cruise. I love that movie. I do. I love that movie. It's so funny because we rewatched it this last Christmas because my fan is a massive fan of it. And I was like, really? That's the movie you want to rewatch? It's so random, but okay. Merry Christmas. We'll watch American Made. And I'll tell you what, I had just as good of a time the second time as I did the first time. It's just one of those roles that Tom Cruise thrives in, and I think he thrived in that role. I'm just a really big fan of what he brought and what that movie, manages to convey, the fast-paced editing. And yeah, I think American Made is a great movie, Austin. I believe I gave it around an 8 out of 10. So, and I placed it pretty high in my list that year. Oh man, here we go. There Will Be Blood versus No Country for Old Men. Thoughts? Man, that is tough. I mean, I always take No Country for Old Men in this argument. But I still got to go with No Country for Old Men. There Will Be Blood is also in my top 30 movies of all time, but I've got to go with No Country for Old Men. The Jedi Jasmine says, being married so young. Are you and your friends, are you Mormon? No, I'm not Mormon. No, I honestly, man, everyone I know, like personally, is getting married like 22, 23, in that age range. And my parents got married. I think that's actually kind of old for what today is compared to, because like my parents, they got married really young, like 19, 20. And I feel like that's how it used to be. Like my wife's parents, really young, 19, 20, and we're 22, 23. So I actually think it's a little old compared to what it used to be. But yeah, I mean, I still got married before some of my friends. So I was just like, and they always said they're always like, Austin, because I'm weird. That's why. They're always like, Austin, you're going to get married after us. And I'm like, you're probably right. And sure enough, I got married before a few of them. So they're like, how? And I don't know. I'm like, how? How could anyone like me? I just don't understand it. Jack Alexander says, thoughts on the Steelers being 9-0. It feels pretty good. It doesn't matter to me unless we win a Super Bowl. So I want to win a Super Bowl, but it feels pretty good. Best start in franchise history. I think the team is fantastic. Still don't know if we can beat the Chiefs. Right now, I still have the Chiefs as the best team, but man, I feel I love it. I'm loving what the year's like so far. Ooh, Orland says very close to 100 subscribers. I'm at 91. Hey, let's get Orland to 100 subscribers, man. That is a monumental goal. When you first start out your YouTube channel, let's get to that first 100. Let's get to that first 1,000, man. If you guys do anything today, go check out Orland, man. That is an awesome achievement. I'm so proud of you. Let's see. The thing about Will Smith reciting other cast members' lines under his breath was hilarious. So if you watch the Fresh Prince special, one thing that Will Smith apparently did in the first 2 or 3 episodes was mouth the lines of his castmates as they were giving their lines to Will Smith. One, that's impressive because he's memorizing everything. I think that's a testament to how smart he is. But 2, it's funny because that's not what you're supposed to do as an actor. So seeing him see that and do that was hilarious. Here's one. I haven't seen the director's cut of Dr. Sleep, but I've heard great things about it. Great things. I want to watch it. Maybe when I watch it, stay tuned to Letterboxd. Maybe sometime before the year's up, because I will have some free time at a point. I want to rewatch a few things, and I've been wanting to watch the director's cut because I was indeed a fan of Dr. Sleep. So maybe I'll be able to check that out. Let's see. Do you think Deadpool 3 will be watered down even if it is rated R? I hope not. I don't think so. I really hope Feige gives them free reign, and I trust the writers of Bob's Burgers. So I hope they let them do what they're going to do, and I'm excited for it, man. I'm just excited to see Ryan Reynolds back on the big screen as that character because he is one of my favorites. Let's see. Mank is a masterpiece. So I do know that Mank came out in theaters, obviously not in Kentucky. Nothing comes out in Kentucky, but in some major markets in the United States. So people have seen it, and I'm hearing really good things. So Netflix, screener, come on. Austin Wagner says, Minority Report versus Edge of Tomorrow. Much love. Gosh, that is tough. That is tough because I was such a big fan of Edge of Tomorrow. You know what? I may go Edge of Tomorrow. I think that's kind of crazy because Minority Report is kind of known as one of the best from that year. But I would say Edge of Tomorrow is too. And something about the twist on the Groundhog Day situation, Edge of Tomorrow, was extremely entertaining. I don't like the name of Edge of Tomorrow as much, but I think Edge of Tomorrow barely. But Minority Report, we're talking one of the most interesting sci-fi films of all time.
So definitely, if you haven't seen either of those movies, check it out. Tarantino, Goodfellas, and Scorsese, Pulp Fiction. So Tarantino directing Goodfellas, Scorsese directing Pulp Fiction. Which one would I rather see? It's hard because both of their styles are so just. Even though Goodfellas is my favorite out of the two, I would want to see Tarantino's Goodfellas because I think his style would mesh better. I just don't know if Scorsese could do Pulp Fiction. That sounds bad. Do it justice because he's Martin Scorsese. I would go Tarantino's Goodfellas. That sounds more interesting. But both movies are spectacular. I love them both so much. Austin, how does it feel quickly approaching 100K subscribers? I wouldn't say quickly. I think it'll be a bit. I think it'll be a couple of months. It all just comes down to how my videos perform and the fact that you guys are so loving and genuine and help out in the comment section. I think it hopefully will be quicker than I project it to be. I'm always a bit of a pessimist when it comes to my channel, but and getting to those numbers, I'm like, it'll never happen. And I hit 75K and I'm like, okay, I just didn't think it would happen. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think this channel is going to continue to thrive. And a lot of that has to do with you all. And hopefully we can get some new subscribers on board. And I actually haven't said it this video. If you guys want to drop this vid a thumbs up, our goal every week is 100 likes on these videos. Last week we hit 200. Are you kidding me? I was thrilled. And you say, well, Austin, you can hit 200 on your normal videos, but in terms of a live stream hitting that number, that is genuinely awesome in my opinion. So my goal this week is 100. Hopefully we make it, but I just appreciate you guys on all of my videos, and the ones that don't hit that threshold, like I mentioned, my Mangrove review probably won't continue with the Small Axe anthology, unfortunately, but I appreciate you guys tuning into all of my videos big time. TJT Review says, thoughts, thanks for the super chat, thoughts on a scary but interesting story idea for the Mando. Oh no. Bo-Katan trying to exchange the child for the dark saber. So I will not spoil anything. I know that super chat kind of said a couple things, but just this idea in theory, because this clearly hasn't happened for those who haven't watched this season. This idea in theory is interesting because, I feel like The Mandalorian is a show where there will be more betrayal. We saw betrayal in season 1. We haven't really seen a lot of betrayal in season 2, but I feel like we may get it. So that's an interesting idea. And man, I'm just excited to see what happens with Baby Yoda, with the child. Where are we at the end of season 2? Is the child still with our hero? Or, whoa, Darth Vader? Or have we moved on since that point? So I'm interested to see where we go. And but that relationship, that father-son almost relationship, it's so sweet. You saw in this last episode, he just loves Baby Yoda so much. And I think the audience, we can relate to him through that. And I think it's hilarious. Let's see. Han Solo says, I hate this year for sports. I don't know who you support, my friend, but it sounds like it's not going very well. But in terms of, 2020 in general, I mean, with the NBA getting halted and NCAA getting canceled, that this year for sports has been very, very tough for sure. Gigi says, you're my favorite movie reviewer. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I always, I don't necessarily agree when people say that because there are just so many. And if I were to watch myself, I'd be like, well, that guy's weird, But for those who say that, listen, I appreciate that big time. And your continued support means the world to me. So it means a lot. Let's see. What's your favorite movie? I've answered this before. My favorite movie is The Dark Knight. That's why I've got that big poster. That's why I'm obsessed with Christopher Nolan as a director. That's one of the first things that I became obsessed through was his Dark Knight trilogy. So, that is my number one movie. But I don't think it's the best movie of all time. Clearly, it's not the best. But you asked my favorite. My favorite is The Dark Knight. Nick Lovin says, good day watching King of Comedy. Oh, thoughts. I love King of Comedy. For a long time, I actually had, and I still have, Taxi Driver over King of Comedy. But I'll tell you what, man. The more I watch King of Comedy, the more I'm starting to rethink that decision. It is a special movie. And we've seen a lot of movies that are similar to Taxi Driver. And Taxi Driver's the OG. It started it all, but I've not really seen, other than Joker, obviously taking elements, I've not really seen anything close to King of Comedy in terms of what that movie was and what it is now. So, man, it's tough. It's tough. But that being said, King of Comedy is clearly one of my favorite Scorsese films. Love it. Love it so much. Let's keep going here, guys. We've got Bandit with we got people being friends in the YouTube chat. Y'all the best. I appreciate it. Let's see. Thoughts on Bates Motel and Freddie Highmore as an actor. Love your channel. Man, Bates Motel, that is a show that my wife watched for quite some time, and I really enjoyed what I saw. I haven't seen it all the way through, though. I haven't seen it all the way through. I think Freddie Highmore is Freddie Highmore, that's so rare, but Freddie Highmore is a very good actor. I truly believe that. So I'd like to see more of Freddie, and I think Bates Motel is a really solid show. Let's keep going here, guys. Slowly catching up. We've got going through all these chats, trying to get there. Oh, here we go. Saw David Fincher's name, stopped right there. Will David Fincher win his overdue Oscar? Snub for The Social Network. Yes, sir. For King's Speech, directed by the guy whose career ended because he directed Cats. He'll still get work. But did you see Nomadland? Can you tell me if you think it's worthy? So I think this could be the year that David Fincher wins for Best Director. I haven't seen Mank yet. I think it could be the year. Nomadland. Can you tell me if you think it's worthy? Listen, Nomadland will get nominated for Best Picture. Chloe Zhao, I believe, will get nominated for Best Director. And honestly, I think it may come down to those two, David Fincher and Chloe Zhao. In terms of who wins, I don't know. I haven't seen Mank yet, but I just, everything I've heard has been David Fincher. Yes, David Fincher, Mank. It is his crowning directing achievement. It may not be his best movie, but it may be his directing achievement. So we'll just have to see. I want to see David Fincher win, but I'm not the guy that, if I don't think the movie deserves it, say I don't like Mank, I will not be pushing for David Fincher just because he hasn't won an Oscar. Although I love him and I want him to win the Oscar, I will go with whatever I think is the best directed movie. And I'm sure you would as well. But that's, sometimes I see people, it's like, well, he's overdue. He clearly should win, like last year. Tarantino's overdue. He's got to win. And I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'm sitting there thinking, I just don't think it's worthy of him winning. I don't think it's worthy of him winning. He is overdue. Sorry. At this point, sorry. So that's kind of the way my mind works, but everyone's different. Hi, Austin. Hey, what's going on? Have you seen, or I just seen The Trial of Chicago 7. Thought it was one of the best movies of the year. What do you think? Well, check out my review, but I'll tell you one thing. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. What do you think of Logan Lerman as an actor? He was horribly miscast as Percy Jackson. Interesting. But I've loved much of his other work. I don't think it was horribly miscast. I didn't love those movies, but I'll tell you what, man. I love Logan Lerman. I do. I think he's a massive, I say up-and-comer, but clearly he's already made it in Hollywood. But I want to see him in more serious roles. I want to see the guy put on a great performance, maybe not in a blockbuster or superhero type thing. So, yeah, big fan of Logan Lerman. I don't know who Loman is, but I'm a big fan of him as well. Let's see. What is your favorite movie soundtrack? Soundtrack, not score. Soundtrack. Guardians of the Galaxy I'd put up there. As much as I didn't love Suicide Squad, I think that soundtrack is baller. Pulp Fiction is great. I mean, a lot of Tarantino's soundtracks are baller. Man, that's tough. You look at La La Land, I mean, that works as the score, but it's also the soundtrack. Any good musical like that. Heck, The Greatest Showman, I thought, had a great array of music. So anything like that. But I'd have to go probably a Tarantino work, because Tarantino always has a phenomenal soundtrack. From Pulp Fiction, I think Django Unchained has a great use of music along with the score, and I just love that. Let's keep going here, guys. I want to worst Clint Eastwood movie besides 1517 to Paris. Ugh. Well, that's definitely the worst. Man, I don't know what his worst movie would be besides that. I'd have to sit and rank his films. I don't think I've done that yet. I'd have to sit and rank his films. But yeah, if you're talking 1517 to Paris, boy, I've never been so bummed out when I walked out of a theater, because I'm such a big fan of Clint Eastwood. And that film just did not do it, bro. TJT Review says, I just hit 69 subs. Hey, TJT Reviews, man. Let's get you to 70. Let's get you to 100 TJT Reviews on YouTube, man. Another up-and-comer along the same lines as some of these other guys. So, hey, man, keep going strong. Keep going strong. Keep watching movies. And, oh, here we go. Oh, I love this. Just saw La La Land. How can a movie be so perfect? Let's go. I agree. Listen, I love me some La La Land. I do. I'm a massive fan of that movie. And we mentioned that, I believe, with good soundtracks. Love that movie so much. I think Damien Chazelle is one of the best directors easily. Let's see. Favorite Nickelodeon. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this so much. Favorite Nickelodeon show that you grew up with. Oh, man. Let's go. SpongeBob seasons 1 through 5. I loved the Rugrats. I love Jimmy Neutron. I love Fairly Odd Parents. That you can kind of see how old someone is with what shows that they loved. You know, you can go the Ren and Stimpy route, which I enjoyed, but I didn't really watch that until I was older. Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, the Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron, when they met for the first time. Oh, y'all, I was losing my mind. We talked about the Avengers as one of the greatest crossovers of all time. That may be the greatest crossover of all time. So those are the shows that I grew up with, SpongeBob. And then obviously the live action ones, Drake and Josh. I mean, that was my show. Drake and Josh for days. For days. I know every word of the song. I know most of their famous lines. I've actually talked to Josh Peck once. When I was back on Vine, it was one small conversation. So I love that show so much, and I'm a huge fan of both of those actors. How was your sleep, Ewan? What's up, Ewan? How is your sleep schedule looking, mate? Not good, man. I haven't slept in a long time. I'm very, very tired. But you know what? It's okay. I do it because one, I have a lot to catch up on, and two, I love watching movies and TV shows and all of these things, man. I just hope we start getting some of these bigger films so I can knock them out. I'm really hoping I get Promising Young Woman. That's one that I'm looking forward to. But Ewan, I'll tell you what, man, I'm sleepy. I'm very sleepy. Alexander says, "What's up, Austin? Your videos are great. What's your favorite movie based on a book?" I love that question. Thank you, Alexander. Favorite movie based on a book. That's tough. I really like what the Hunger Games was able to do for the most part. I think Catching Fire was awesome. My favorite books growing up was actually the Lemony Snicket series of Unfortunate Events. Those were my books that I read religiously. I think it's the easy route to go Harry Potter, and it's so funny that you say that, Alex. Thanks for the question, but Abhishek says, Austin, read the books from part 4 of Harry Potter during your rewatch. It's so funny because I've actually never read Harry Potter, and I am rewatching Harry Potter. If you guys are following me on Letterboxd, you saw my my Sorcerer's Stone rewatch. You saw where I'm doing Chamber of Secrets. I've actually already watched it. I'm going to review that. And then at the end of this all, I guess I'm making this announcement right now, I will be doing a Harry Potter ranking on this channel. So I don't know if I will have time to read the book, but I have heard that part 4, which one is that? I don't know if they go in order, but obviously that's Goblet of Fire. Is the Goblet of Fire book really that good? Okay, maybe. I don't know if I'll ever get the shot, but if I do, if I get time, I want to read them because I heard they were fantastic. I just didn't really have like crazy interest in Harry Potter growing up. I don't know why. And then I watched the movies. I'm like, what was I doing? What was I doing as a child? I should have read those books, but I'll tell you one thing. This rewatch that I'm doing right now is absolutely spectacular. I'm loving rewatching Harry Potter. Let's go. Oh, of course. Cabbage Man says Avatar. I'll tell you what, though. I was a bit older when did Avatar come out? What years was that? It feels like I was older. So I guess that is still technically growing up with the show. Yeah, that is, in my opinion, that'd be the greatest animated show of all time. So I don't know how I forgot that was a Nickelodeon show, but that may be the greatest Nickelodeon, at least, show of all time. So yeah, Avatar, Last Airbender. Oh, Orlin says, Bernard says, The Dark Knight and Mad Max Fury Road director's fault. Man, I don't know what that would look like. It's funny you say that, though, because George Miller almost directed a Justice League movie. So we almost kind of had a Batman underneath director, but Christopher Nolan, I don't know if I could see Christopher Nolan with Mad Max. I feel like that's too colorful and crazy for Nolan. He's very grounded as a director. So I don't know if I could see it, but it would be interesting for sure. Sam says, any cartoon series that you would want to see a live action adaptation of? Well, man. Gosh. I mean, I want to say Avatar, but we all know how that turned out from Midnight. And not good. But no, not SpongeBob, not Jimmy Neutron. Fairly Odd Parents. I mean, we saw the one with Drake Bell. That one was, it was fun for what it was. I don't know if there's any. I mean, I guess the best one would be an Avatar: The Last Airbender. I guess that would be the best one, but we've already seen that, and it was terrible. Now, we are getting a Netflix series, so we'll just have to see. But that is definitely tough. Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer other than Avatar, but that's a great question, Sam. That's a great question. Alex Lopez says, what other famous Vine stars did you talk to on Vine? I really did talk to quite a few. I did King Batch. We did one of those where you revine each other, and it was for 5 Gum. I did King Batch. I talked to him for a second. Josh Peck. What's the one guy's name? Gosh, I can't remember his name. Talk to him. You guys don't know who I'm talking about. And oh yeah, the singer, Sean, what's his name? Shawn Mendes? Is that his name? I can't remember. That's sad. I can't remember. Yeah, I talked to him for a little bit. So, yeah, I talked to a few people, but it wasn't like full-on conversations. It was more just like, hey, here's what we're going to do for this 5 Gum commercial. But they were all very nice. Shawn Mendes, that's his name. I'm actually about to watch his documentary. So I am a fan of his as a singer, and then I see what his career is, and I'm like, man, all that came from Vine, and I lost all of my followers. So it's okay. I've got this YouTube channel, and I love this YouTube channel so much. Let's see. Among Us, God says, I've seen Mank, not Nomadland. I think Fincher will 100% win. Every frame is perfection. Man, yeah, I've heard Amanda is great. Sweeping the award season. Coleman won, and Hillbilly has mixed reviews. Yeah, Hillbilly does have mixed reviews. Be on the lookout for my review coming very soon, but I will add right in to those mixed reviews for sure. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, Arnav. I've seen your comments before. I appreciate the love very much so. And I love, let's see, you got a question here. Is there any movie that you do not like, you hate, but is a critical darling, very beloved? Well, I often hear how great Mean Streets is, and I'm not a big fan of Mean Streets. It's fine. I'm just, Suspiria in 2018, everybody loved that movie critic-wise. I just didn't really, And then The Post got nominated for Best Picture, and I think The Post is good, but I would not have nominated that for Best Picture. I think Vice is good. I would not have nominated that for Best Picture. There's always, it seems like every year, there's one movie where I'm just like, not that they're bad. It's just like, so I'm interested to see what that movie is this year. So we'll just have to see. Sam says, my college football team has only played 2 games. 2-0? Hey, 2-0 is 2-0, man. That's awesome. Obviously I root for UK. I've never been like a UK college football guy. For me, college football is just a great time to sit down and watch everything. I used to root for Alabama. Now it seems like I'm a bandwagoner because they're so good now. So I still root for them, but I just love watching the SEC. SEC football is the best for me. But 2-0, man, 2-0 is great. My favorite cartoon Nickelodeon shows growing up. Did already talk about that. Mentioned like Jimmy Neutron, but it's got to be Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I forgot about the first time. Austin, are you watching the new show Adventure Time Distant Lands? It's perfect. As a huge fan of the original show, it's incredible. I'm actually not. I watched the first one and loved it. I need to continue watching because I, as you, was an Adventure Time fan. I didn't watch it like growing up because I was older, but I'll tell you what, even in college, I'm throwing on regular show and Adventure Time, so I do need to catch up with that for sure. Goodfellas or Pulp Fiction? I've got to go Goodfellas, but Pulp Fiction is one of my faves of all time. Austin Wagner says, you missed my... Oh, let's go. Hang on, Austin. Hang on. I got you. Missed my third super chat. I'm going to look for you, Austin. So I have another screen that has all of my super chats on it. So just in case I miss one, they're still there. Let's go. Okay, so I found it. I can't put it on screen because it's gone. But favorite coming of age sci-fi movie I loved, Super 8. Austin, thank you for letting me know that, man. If I ever miss a super chat, you guys let me know. So favorite coming of age sci-fi film, man, that is tough. I mean, it's easy, but E.T., I mean, I think E.T. is a beautiful coming of age story. I really do. I'm trying to think of others. E.T.'s got to be the answer, though. I'll tell you what, though, when I was super young, E.T. scared me to death. Just the creature. I was also scared of the monkeys from Wizard of Oz. So if you guys ever want to scare me, dress up like the monkey from Wizard of Oz. Those things, oh my gosh, those things scared the crap out of me. Orland says Rick and Morty. Yes, we're talking favorite shows. Rick and Morty is my favorite show now. Favorite animated show now. I love it so much. Abhishek says, do you watch podcasts? I do. I love podcasts. I love Steelers podcasts. I love fantasy football podcasts. I love Mr. Sunday Movies. His podcast is fantastic. Just an audio feed, but I love his podcast. So those are kind of the ones that I do right now, but I often find new ones. So if you guys have any podcast recommendations, let me know. Hey, Austin, Tenet movie is releasing in India. Should I give it a theater watch or wait for digital release? So it all comes down to whether you feel comfortable enough to watch something in the theater or not. If that is the case, I would say yes. I think Tenet is worth watching in a theater for the sound design. Well, people had issues with sound design. For the technical aspects alone, man. That score booming in the background. I mean, I couldn't imagine not watching that in a theater. I just couldn't imagine it. So yes, I would say theater. Faux show. Bandit says The Greatest Showman is so good. I tell you what, that movie is fun, man. That movie is fun. Small Axe episode 2. I am going to watch it. Be on the lookout for Letterboxd. I will not be doing a review on YouTube, though. That my video yesterday, no one seemed interested and didn't get the likes that I was hoping for. There's always that threshold I hope to hit. So unfortunately, not reviewing it on YouTube, but I will definitely be doing it on Letterboxd. I want to watch the other 4, and I have screeners for them. So maybe at the end, maybe I do a Small Axe recap video talking about the 5 and see which one was my favorite. But yeah, it is coming out this Friday, even though I already have my screener for it, so I'm definitely going to watch it. Austin, what if, I like these, what if Denis Villeneuve did a Jaws remake or a 7 remake? Woo! Oh, man, which one would you like to see more? Listen, I don't ever want Denis Villeneuve to do a Jaws remake or a 7 remake. I don't want anyone to do a Jaws remake or a 7 remake, but I wouldn't hate it. Especially 7. I wouldn't hate it. I don't want to see that movie ever remade, but I don't hate the idea of him doing 7. I think that kind of fits for what Denis Villeneuve does. Man, that would be kind of cool. But yes, in terms of what Bandit says, please try not to spam the same question over and over. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bandit. I appreciate your keep an eye on things for me. Who could play Madonna in a biography film? Woo! Woo! Man, that's tough. Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, how do you capture the essence of Madonna? How do you capture that essence? I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer for you. I'm trying to think of an actress that kind of looks like Madonna. I mean, man, I don't know. That's tough. You've stumped me. What do you guys think? I'll get to your comments. Who do you guys think could play Madonna? Madonna in a biography film. That is so tough. I don't know. That is a great question, though. Great super chat. My goodness. I love it. Watch Netflix movie Ludo. I will be. I have a screener for it. So that is one that I will be watching and reviewing and putting a review out. I believe it drops on Netflix next week. So you guys be on the lookout for that for sure. What is your favorite guilty pleasure movie? I say it all the time. I do love a movie like Scooby-Doo, the one that James Gunn wrote in the early 2000s. I love Scooby-Doo. I think those two are so much fun. Definitely a guilty pleasure. I watch Cat in the Hat because I'm fascinated with it, not because I think it's a good movie. Oh, man, guilty pleasure movie. I've got a lot. I mean, a lot of the Adam Sandler movies in the 90s, a lot of the Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura 2 is one that, is critically panned. I love it. I'd love to do a review on it one day just to get it to a higher score on Rotten Tomatoes because it's so low. So movies like that, there are plenty. Maybe one day I'll do a guilty pleasure movie countdown. I don't think I've done anything like that, but yes, for sure. Oh, and I love the point that Ewan makes, which is something that I've heard as well. I think Mank may be a bit too niche for Best Picture, but Best Director is very possible. So you saw my last Oscar video, and I'll be doing another one in December. But so what I'm hearing now is that Mank, while great, we don't know how much it's going to appeal to Oscar voters. So we'll just have to see, but Best Director is very possible. I'm still on the Best Director train, but Ewan brings up a great point that I've heard from a lot of people. Orland says he's excited for the Elvis biopic, and he cannot wait. I am excited for the Elvis biopic. I'm very excited. I think the casting was interesting. I don't know a lot about everyone involved, but I think it's going to be great. And anything Elvis, man. Love me some Elvis. My wife, huge, I'll say it out loud, huge Elvis fan. So I think it's going to be super cool. What do you think of the BBC Sherlock Holmes, and what is the favorite? Favorite episode is tough, but I do love the show. I haven't seen all of the episodes. And I know it's one of those shows that stops for a while, then picks back up and stops for a while. What I have seen is spectacular. And Benedict is spot on. I mean, everyone in the show is spot on, but I think it's phenomenal direction, which makes the show beautiful at the end of the day. So definitely, I want to make sure I didn't miss. I think I missed a super chat here. I'll make sure I didn't miss anybody. So we got the Madonna question. We've got Nathan. Who says, expectations for Kristen Wiig in Wonder Woman 1984. I'm interested for sure. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we will see. We will see the route that it ends up going. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think she's going to do good. I've always wanted to see her in a serious role like that. I really have. We're getting a lot of super chat, guys. I want to make sure that I don't want to miss any of these. Have you ever played God of War? Funny enough, I've only played it 2 or 3 times at my friend's house. I've never played all the way through. But that is the video game that I often say could make a great video game movie. A great video game movie. So we will just have to see. I don't know exactly if we will ever get a movie from that, but I've heard God of War as an entirety is great. And the few times I've played it at my buddy's house, oh man, it is so much fun. Sour or sweet? Now we're getting into the questions. Thank you, Mike. Sour or sweet pickles? I mean, I'll tell you what. I got to go sour, but I'm weird. I love sweet pickles. I'm a weirdo. I get it. My wife, I always try to get her to eat sweet pickles, and she hates them. She won't eat them. I'm weird. Even deviled eggs. I eat like the sweet pickles in deviled eggs, make sweet deviled eggs. Did you guys ever do that? I'm from Eastern Kentucky. That was a thing here. That's something that we did. Did you guys do it anywhere else? I don't think you did, because my wife didn't even know what it was when I first ate them. So when my mom first made them. So yes, I would have to go sour because I love sour, but sweet pickles, man, I'm a fan of me some sweet pickles. What if, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't respond to that, Raymond. Listen, I appreciate the question, Raymond. We can't go there, Raymond. We can't go there, man. Come on, man. That's I want to know how that family dynamic works, first of all. Where is Pearl's mother? I know they answer that in episode one of these days. I don't know. But yes, Raymond, thank you for the super chat, man. Austin, pinky or brain? I got to go brain. Although pinky is hilarious. I just think we're going to rule the world. I love brain. I think they're both hilarious. They're one of the best duos on television. And now on Hulu. More of a serious question. If we have another year of COVID, what do you think will happen to the movie industry? Abigail, great question. I'll tell you what, if we have another year of COVID, I don't think it's going to turn out well for the movie industry. I don't. I think what we have already seen this year and what the movie industry has had to go through this year is going to be hard to recover from. So whether we get the same, Rio comes back, AMC comes back, Cinemark comes back, I don't know if we're going to get all 3 of them back. I think we will, but I don't know. And a lot of these family-owned theaters, it's going to be hard for them to recover. So, and it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. It was just a horrible year and a horrible thing that happened. So, they're going to do their best. This whole Wonder Woman situation with HBO Max and the movie theaters, I hope it works, but then again, that's also going to put a kind of a dent, and it's like, oh, we can do that now, and we don't need a movie to release in theaters. So I don't know. I don't think theaters are going anywhere, but if COVID strikes back and happens again in 2021, and we get a whole nother year of movie delays and whatnot, at that point, the industry's done. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think over the next couple of months, it's going to be a telling tale of what's going to happen with movie theaters. So we're just going to have to see. Abigail, great question. I love the movie theater experience. I will be absolutely devastated if we were to lose movie theaters. Absolutely devastated. So we'll just have to see. Austin, La La Land or Whiplash? Lucas, great question. As I lose my voice, I honestly think Whiplash is one of my favorite movies of all time, as is La La Land, but I'd have to go Whiplash. That's my answer. I think he crushed that movie. It is perfect, and everything about Whiplash and La La Land, both of those movies are so great, but I'd have to go Whiplash in that choice. Sean Chandler is doing a live stream too. Let's combine and make one big live stream. Send you a Streamlabs question. All right, we got a Streamlabs question. Thank you for letting me know in the comments. Now, if you guys don't know, even though we're about to wrap up today, we have Streamlabs, which is a great way to send questions as well. The Streamlabs questions are always here for me to see, and they stay forever. So let me share my screen really quick. Application window, share. All right, so we're going to throw that on screen. Chi-Wan Lee says, what are your thoughts on Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer? And what's your top 3 Western movies? Chi-Wan Lee, great question. I'll tell you what. I love, and let me go ahead and get this next super chat on there. I love, first of all, I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell, and I'm a big fan of Val Kilmer, but Tombstone is such a great movie. I love Westerns. We haven't really gotten a good hardcore Western in quite a while. I think No Country for Old Men is probably my favorite. I know it's much more of a modern Western, and it doesn't, feel like the classic Western and whatnot, but I'd say No Country for Old Men. It's hard to give you my top 3. I think Tarantino does a great Western. Pulp Fiction, or Django Unchained is obviously a great, outlandish, crazy Western. In terms of old school, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, a lot of those classics. Clint Eastwood has done so many. Unforgiven. Oh my God. How do you not put that in the top 3? So I love me a good Western. Raymond says, remember when Quentin Tarantino was on Jimmy Neutron? I don't know if that's an actual thing, but if that is an actual thing, I don't remember that. I don't remember when Quentin Tarantino was on Jimmy Neutron, Raymond. I really don't. Mike Rollins says, Nerf. Yes, nice little throwback there. Mike, you crack me up, man. Let's see. Hurt Locker versus American Sniper. Also love the videos, bro. Harry, thank you so much, Harry. That's tough. I might go. Oof. That fake baby in American Sniper, y'all. That's tough to look past. I might go American Sniper. I was a huge fan of that movie. Hurt Locker, obviously an Oscar film, in which I love, but man, I was a massive fan of American Sniper. So both of those movies are spectacular. Alex Lopez says, oh man, Samara Weaving as Madonna. I don't hate that, Alex. I don't hate that. Samara Weaving is a brilliant actress. Oh man, that's good. Sabrina Carpenter, yeah, but that Samara Weaving call, man, that could be pretty cool. I like that a lot. Ryan says, would like to see a bio film about Stan Lee. Oh, let's go. We're going to get it one day, Ryan. We're going to get it. We just got to wait until things, kind of move past. They got to settle his estate situation and all that stuff. But I would love to see a biofilm about Stan Lee. Absolutely love it. So great. Oh, who would play Stan Lee? And I don't know. That's too tough for me. I can't think about that right now because I get too sad thinking about them. But that is a great, great call. I love it. TJT Review says, I just hit 69 subs. Again, yeah, 69. We saw that earlier. Any advice on how to get more? TJT, man. Just review everything you can in a timely manner. That's what I've done. I review every movie and TV show I can get my hands on, and I do it quick. So the quicker you do it, the faster you get your videos out there, the more opportunity you have at people finding your channel. So that would be my advice to you. Review, review, review. And I think that is the best way to get more subs. But good luck to you, man. Hope you hit 100 in the next couple of days for sure. Talking Great Westerns, 310 to Yuma. Oh, my goodness, yes. Oh, my goodness. That is a phenomenal Western. It's a great call. Among Us God says, have you seen One Night in Miami, Austin? Yes. I don't know why people are saying will be nominated for Best Director. The visuals are the weakest part of the film. Interesting. The screenplay and acting are gold, though. So in terms of the visuals, I don't know if that will stop it from getting Best Director just because, and I know that's a part. I think it was such a great job from her getting great performances out of those actors and making the movie interesting, even though it was strictly dialogue. I mean, that movie is only dialogue. I didn't hate the visuals. But you're right, it is a bit weaker. But I think in terms of getting great performances from your actors, I think that's why she'd get nominated for Great Director. I don't know if she will at this point. There have been quite a few movies, definitely not over Chloe Zhao or David Fincher, but she may crack that top 5. So it's a great thing to have discussion too. And One Night in Miami, that week the movie comes out. I have seen it. I will be putting my review on the YouTube channel. Abigail says, what movies do you think should have been a TV show? I love this, or vice versa. It's a great question, Abigail. So I can't go, Game of Thrones worked as a TV show. Breaking Bad worked as a TV show. There have been so many movies that I've said would make great TV shows. Oh, man, I don't know if I can think of them off the top of my head. Maybe something like, and I talk about Vice all the time, and obviously Christian Bale, I don't think he would sign up for a TV show. I don't. But Vice would have been great to explore and take time exploring all of those different events that happen. I think any movie, okay, you know what? One Night in Miami. I know it's called One Night in Miami, but I would love a TV show based around those characters every time they get together and then exploring their lives individually. I know that would be tough to do, but my criticism with movies, whenever I say they squeeze too much in, and this used to not be the case because television used to not be as good as it is now, right? We would have never imagined getting something like a Breaking Bad or a Game of Thrones on TV 20 years ago. But now that's where we are. Something like The West Wing, I think that was one of the first one that started it. And then obviously The Wire, and then obviously what we got with Breaking Bad and what we're getting now with something like an Ozark and a Mindhunter. Rest in peace, Mindhunter. But all of those things, they are essentially 4, 6, 16, 20, 30-hour movies because they are so cinematic and so well done and so well directed. So to see the movies that I often criticize as, well, we didn't get enough time with those characters. We didn't get enough time to develop the plot. That's when I think a movie would make a great TV show. Now, in terms of a TV show fitting into a movie, I can't think of a certain example, but whenever you hear me say it was too long, we fit so much into or so little into so much time. It felt like we were just doing a lot of filler. Filler episodes are the worst, by the way. That's when you can essentially squeeze something into a movie. So it's tough to think of examples, but movies that I'm often disappointed with because it's just so little time for such a big plot. Those are the ones. But that is a good question. That's one that I would have to look at and possibly make a video about in the future. I think that would be a fun video. Abigail, you're making me think over here, girl. Come on now. That is awesome. That is an awesome question. One of my favorite ones of the day so far. Let's keep going. Austin Pinky or Brain. Already answered that, Rabbit Jack. I already answered that, but I'd have to go with the Brain or Brain. Let's do these. I want to make sure I get to these super chats, guys, because we have hit the hour mark. And I said I was only going an hour today. Bryan Cranston should play Stanley. Matthew. That's a thumbs up, Matthew. I like it. Tyler Van says, funnier opening, Goldmember or Tropic Thunder? I think Tropic Thunder is the better movie. I may have to go Goldmember. I love that opening. And I think the Austin Powers trilogy is one of my favorite comedic trilogies of all time. We don't talk about that enough, but I love Goldmember. It's gold. All right, Austin West. If you brought a sci-fi weapon into reality to defend yourself, what would you choose? I love the sonic boom shotgun from Minority Report. No lightsaber. Dang it, Austin. Dang it. You have the same name as me. Oh, man. No lightsaber. That's tough. Well, Star Trek. No, I can't really think of anything. Okay, so this isn't a weapon. But Rick and Morty's portal gun. Rick and Morty's portal gun. I would just get the heck out of there. Because that's what they do every situation. I love the episodes when something happens to the portal gun, because then they just, they can't leave right off the bat. So they're having to find ways around that. And I think that's really creative. But Rick and Morty's portal gun. That is my answer. But if I could bring a lightsaber, I'd bring a lightsaber, because those things are just cool, man. Those things are just cool. Been a while since I harassed you about this. Watch Uncanny. I know, man. I know it's on the watch list. I remember that. Then Ex Machina comparison video. You'll love it. I'll love it. It'll be great. Mike, I know, man. You've told me I've got to get on it. It is on the watch list, and it is one that I am going to make an effort to do. I got to do it. So hopefully I have some free time during the Christmas season. Things will lighten up a bit, and I'll have some time to rewatch some stuff, man. Mike, I appreciate you, man. Keep me up on that. You got to keep me up on that, bro. Let's see. Let's do one or two more, guys. We're going to do one or two more. No, remember, we're going to do one or two more, because I'm going to have to go here in just a second and help my wife clean our house before football starts. Got to watch my Steelers, y'all. Rank the Alien franchise. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a video I want to do. Can't do it now. I'm going to have the hardest time between Alien and Aliens for sure. Does the Force qualify? Oh, I'd go with Portal Gun as well. Does the Force qualify? I don't think it would, but man, if I could have the Force, I'd use that puppy. This tells you how nerdy my wife and I are. We were in Target the other day, and we saw a moving Baby Yoda, where it's this tiny little animatronic, and it does this with its hand. And as soon as it did that with its hand, my wife started going, and I used the Force on her as well. And we're just so nerdy. And I'm starting to realize this, but I love it. I love doing stupid things like that. When we went to Galaxy's Edge, we were the nerdiest, happiest, geekiest people on the face of the earth. And it was just so cool. Such a fun experience. Let me make sure I don't have any more super chats, guys. And then we'll do one more question. Team Rainbow says couple goals. Let's see. Okay, this is Austin Powers. Smoking a pancake, bong and a waffle, pipe and a crepe. Did I get it right? I remember that. Smoking a pancake, bong and a waffle, pipe and a crepe. That's what he says. If that's not what he says, y'all look it up. I've watched that movie so many times, and I've not watched it in 5 years. So if I got that right, let's hope I got that right, because that is what he says in Austin Powers. It's so stupid. All right, let's do one more, guys. Can you review old movies? I'll do one after this. Oh, and we did get 100 likes. Very nice. But can you review old movies? So to review an old movie, it has to be timely, but it also has to be something that I know you guys are interested in. So if you are interested in something like that, yeah, I'd absolutely love to review old movies. But oftentimes on YouTube, when someone posts a review of an old movie, they don't often do that well. So if you guys would be interested, I would absolutely review an old movie that was relevant. I really would. So we'll just have to see. One of these days I would like to. Guys, let's do one last question. I want to make sure I get it. Get a good one. We're going to get it. Let's see. All right, we've got bye, take care, man. Bye. Austin Paul says you're like a brother to us. Hey, listen, man, you guys are like family to me. I really appreciate what you do. Talking old movies, Jaws, Back to the Future. Those would be fun old reviews, man. Those would be so fun. Oh yeah, this is a good one from Orland. Then I'll do one more. I keep saying that, but you guys just keep bringing it with the questions. Thoughts on Malcolm and Marie? I added both Zendaya and John David Washington to my Oscar predictions. That's it. That's not a bad idea. I think there's a reason the release date is so close to the deadline. You know what? It's not a bad idea. I think there could be some Oscar consideration there. Maybe not with the movie itself, but with the performances. Absolutely. By the way, guys, I did see that we hit 100 likes. If you guys want to keep dropping it likes, if we could hit 150 at some point, maybe people coming back in and watching later on, we'll hit that goal. But my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, for this video, for this week's videos, for all the videos, especially for these small reviews that I post, hitting those threshold of likes means the world to me. So if you guys want to drop those thumbs up on my vids, you know, even if you disagree with something I say, it really does help out the video. So the fact that I hit 100 today means the world to me. I really appreciate it. Who's that one dude that does like, oh, he's got one guy, man. And he's got, the cool thing is he's got my notifications on. So it's immediately. And I'm pretty sure, well, actually, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's got my notifications on. So to that one man, hey, it's still engagement. Thank you to that one man. No, I appreciate you guys big time for what you do. Let's see. I'm going to do the last one. I know I keep saying it. Oh, gosh, this is deep. This is deep. What's your legacy? Oh, man, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I want to be looked at as, obviously not now because I'm 25, but when I'm older, I want to be looked at as one of the better film critics to ever do it. And I'd also love to step foot into the industry one day, whether that's, you know, being part of a screenplay or being on set or being an extra or something like that. I would love to take part in a project one of these days. I just think it would be great. I think it would be great. So that, along with this, Austin, have you watched Soul or Promising Young Woman? No, I am supposed to get my screener for Soul in the next couple of weeks. That's what they told me. So hopefully then. I'm working on a screener for Promising Young Woman. I'm trying to figure out who exactly I need to contact for that. But I did get into Focus Features Press thing recently. I just need to figure out how exactly to go about my screener. But both of those movies, man, I'm so excited. So excited for both of those movies. And thank you guys for all of the love today. The answer of life, the answer to life is 42. Yes, or 43 sometimes, but sometimes 42. Did you get a screener for the Chadwick Boseman movie? Working on it. Hopefully. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of some of these people, but hopefully. I think I may have asked a little too late on that one, by the way. But all right, guys, thank you so much for your love, your support. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below. Like if you enjoyed today's stream, all of your goodbyes, what you're doing later on today, I'll put those on screen as we go. Make sure to get you guys on there as much as I can. Again, if you liked these videos, if you like my videos, always be sure to leave your comments, your thumbs up. It makes a world of a difference. I know one more 12 later. I keep doing it, man. I love y'all's questions. I keep doing it. But thank you guys again. Stay tuned. This week, we got some fun reviews. Hillbilly Elegy. Finally, I'm going to try to get Mank that week. I'm going to try to get Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, working on some of these bigger films. We'll just have to see. But as soon as they come, you guys will know if you have the notification bell. YouTube should theoretically send out a notification. So we'll see if they actually do it. Thanks again, guys. I'm going to leave your comments on the screen, and I will see you all tomorrow for hopefully a review of Hillbilly Elegy sometime around noon. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'll get your comments on the screen.